in the silence of meditation. Like the rustling of the breeze through the trees in the forest. How soft. Like the flooding of light over the silvery stream. How gracious. Like opening the window to the sweet shower of mystic music. How sublime. Like the melting mist in the vastness of the sky. How divine. These are the sweet whispers of the soul in the silence of meditation. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti. Om Nilambuja Shyamalkomalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayakacharu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. Shri Ramcharitmanas in Ayodhya Kanda, and we are moving towards the verse number 993. Presently, the context is that Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, they are all under the care of Nishad Raj Guha. Guha Nishad has met them, and they are in a forest. During the night, while Rama and Sita are sleeping under a beautiful tree, a Ashoka tree, Lakshmana and Guha Nishad, they are awake and they are talking with each other. Lakshmana is giving a profound insight. Guha was experiencing great Vishad. Nishad likes Vishad. Yeah. And Lakshmana gave a very profound insight into who Rama is. And in that context, we continue. Bhagata bhumi bhu sura surabhi surahita lagi kripal karat charit dhari manuja tanu sunat mitahi jagajal. Lakshmana says that Rama is God who incarnates Whenever there is stress in the world, for the sake of bhakat, devotees, bhumi, for the earth, Brahmins, cows and gods. Let me give you subtler meaning. But before that, turn your attention to the Gita, where Lord Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Whenever there is decline in dharma and enhancement in adharma, Lord Krishna says, I incarnate. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya duskritam. I come into this world as an incarnation, as avatara, for protecting the sadhus. Sadhus are those who are following the path leading to liberation, and for destroying the forces of darkness, duskritam. Dharma sansthapanarthaya are for establishing the path of dharma. Sambhavami yuge yuge. Every age I go on incarnating. Because this story always gives you a kind of a history. That's the way it happens. So people are always looking forward to when will be the next one. But you don't realize that profounder understanding doesn't have anything to do with future. What you are now and how you are going to be benefited, that's the vital point. Different ways of understanding, they are perfectly allowed by sages. You need to have your mind comfortable. Children understand through parables. More intelligent people understand by the whole historical background behind it. More profoundly involved, they don't look up to the history. Avatara has to happen in your own soul. Every human being is a divine set. Soul is Rama potential, to be realized through jnana, wisdom, when it rises to its height. Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Satrughna, these are four aspects of yoga. Rama is jnana, Lakshmana is dhyana, what's described in terms of Raja Yoga. Bharata is bhakti, Satrughna is karma. Even their names give you this idea. Satrughna, one who sublimates the enemies. Enemies are your anger, greed, etc., all those Shadripus. Satrughna movement is karma yoga. Bharata is bhakti. Bharata. Bha is Bhagavan. To be devoted to Bhagavan. Lakshmana, bringing all those divine Daivi Sampat. It's possible through your meditative movement as mind becomes much more illumined by the divine source. And Rama is the ultimate wisdom. The sky agrees with it. The whole world is always set together. Avatara, spiritual movement has two aspects, Arohan and Avataran. Nature ascends. Your nature is your body, mind, intellect, ego. All these are three gunas that have evolved all this. This nature, as purity starts, nature as if rises, just like a mountain is rising. And as the rising process goes on, the divine process is like the sun. Sun touches the height first and then goes down. Divine bends down, nature ascends. The ascending movement is Arohan movement. Descending is Avataran. That avatar has to occur in every heart, leading the soul to enlightenment. And giving a further extension, if any individual attains enlightenment, he is lifting countless people in a mysterious way, and his footsteps continue to guide people all the time. Because I realize the sage is not a personality, it is a channel of the divine. So it is not the sage that who is inspiring. He has become a channel of God. But you are perfectly free to use the name sage. Bhagat bhumi bhusar surabhi surehit lagi kripal. Tulsidas says the same in his own poetic way. God incarnates Bhagat for devotees, implying the devotional movement in every personality as an individual progresses on the spiritual path. The devotional movement must enter his heart. Bhumi, literally meaning earth. Mystical meaning is that which supports all your purusharthas, self-effort. Bhusur, relating to those who give spiritual teachings to others. They are Brahmins, relating to Guru movement. Surabhi relates to cows. You can take it literally, cows, animals, but here this profounder understanding relates to Upanishadic knowledge. And for God, all the divine potentiality that is hidden, it has to be awakened. So all these terms, Bhagat, Bhumi, Bhusar, Surabhi, Sur, they are all your own personality. And for doing good to all, the divine descent takes place. Karat charitadhari manu jatanu sunatmi tahi jagajal. And God incarnates in such a spontaneous and simple manner, appearing like ordinary human being, Manujatanu. Enlightened sages don't develop a different characteristic in physical appearance. Of course, the devotees will always take a picture and put a light around the face. And that's a different matter. Everyone is irradiating spiritual light, but that's a different, that's not to be compared with physical light. Everyone is more mental than physical. And if your mental state is positive, you are creating an aroma of positivity. Whether you know it or not, that doesn't matter. It's automatic. And if you have involved yourself in spiritual progress, you become like the spirit of spring in a forest. The entire forest becomes benefited by the spring. Vasantavat lokahite charanta. That's the ultimate goal behind every personality. Live in this world, but vasantavat lokahite. Not live just for your own good. If you live for your own good, you are selfish. Fish in a big shell, trapped. But as you follow the path of enlightenment, you become a swan. I'm speaking allegorical language. You become the very spirit of spring. Sunat mitahi jag jal. Another effect of incarnation is the removal of negative qualities, dark forces. Jagat janjal. Ja jakaro janma vicheda. Ja is a sacred word. That's why comes japa, puja. Ja mantra leads you to janma vicheda. Every soul is involved in the cycle of birth and death. That cycle is to be broken. That's the goal of your life. But instead of Ja operating in the right way, it becomes janjal. Ja gets into a jal with an N, with big junction, locked up. Jal is a cobweb of illusion. Satchit Ananda gets restricted by names and forms. Names and forms are illusions. So when you put all the five, Satchit Ananda, name and form, that was prapanch. So you use the word prapanch or jagat janjal. To give you more subtler meaning, negative forces obstruct Atma gunas, what is natural to your soul. And I will quote from the scriptures by Sage Gautam. Daya sarva bhuteshu. Every soul instinctively has tenderness towards others. Kshantir. It's a variation of Kshama. Living a life of not holding on to any grudge against others. Anasuya. Not looking for the negative qualities of others. Shaucham. Purity of body and mind. Anayaso. A life that is lived not with stress and tension. If you do good deeds to others and you feel tense, how much good you have done, and waiting for writing them all down in every detail. That's not spontaneous. Sahaj, the mother showers all her love to the child. Sahaj. That's the healthy state of the soul. Every soul is working for it, no matter how limited, but every soul is instinctively involved. Next point, Mangalam. Movement that is auspicious, that allows the soul to perk up with more and more spiritual strength. I give a humorous interpretation. A process where man galam, mind melts. That's the time you really have become happy. When mind is constantly working, you are not. But when you are really enjoying rasa, I'm not talking rasa, I say. Yes, I'm talking about scriptural rasa. Mind enjoys that rasa, simply relaxes. Akarpanyam, not being selfish. No one instinctively, if you had certain sickness and you became healed, immediately you tell the neighbor, look, you are suffering from this, I took this medicine, take that. I did this yoga and I was healed. This type of sharing is natural to people. You might have come upon a remedy by years of effort. But when you want to share it, you don't care for how long it has taken for you and why quickly should you give it. No, it's a kind of subtle instinct in every individual to be good. Akarpanyam. Aspriheti. Aspriha is not to grab others' wealth, not to be greedy. These are natural, instinctive qualities hidden in every soul. All that obstructs these qualities, they are called the negative forces, dark forces. The divine descent, avatara, is meant to sublimate the dark forces and to let these instinctive qualities blossom. All this is being said by Lakshmana to Guha Nishad, while Rama, Sita are lying down. Sakha samujhi asa parihari mohu, siya raghubir charana rata hohu, kahata Rama guna bhab vinusara, jage jagamangala sukhadara. Lakshmana says to Nishad, O friend, having thus understood the role of Rama, incarnation, give up moha and be devoted to the lotus feet of Sita Ram. And thus the night passed, and it's a time for Brahma Muhurta, the dawn. Sakal shauch kari Ram nahawa, Shuchi sujan but chir mangawa, Anuj sahit sir jata banaye, Dekhi sumantra nayan jala chaye. Sri Rama, having done the morning rituals, he asked for milky juice that comes from Bata Vriksha, a banyan tree. Sometimes we scratch the tree and milk comes out of it. And that milk has a glue. This is the ancient glue. That I'm giving you a deeper meanings. Because in all these scriptures, you have a storyline. And a story has its own historicity. When it was written, you read Shakespeare's writings, there will be hi-ho and many things. So, the literature will have always the effect of history. But what is being given to you is beyond history. Banyan tree here relates to the tree of the world process. Your goal is to cut down asanga shastrena dridhena chittva by the weapon of asanga, detachment, that knowledge that the soul, the self, is ever untouched. That becomes your sharp edge weapon, called Asanga Shastra. And you cut down this big banyan tree. But in the early stage, the milk of the banyan tree, putting in your hair, implying bring that type of resolve in your mind, in your mental mess of thoughts. So many thoughts, so many ideas are there. Bring that sticky resolve that you hold your head for the sake of gaining that knowledge that cuts down the tree of the world process. That type of symbolic meaning is involved in making jata and handling the hair. Another way of symbolic meaning, you shave the hair completely. All the vasanas have to be destroyed, burnt up. Anuj sahit sir jata banaye. And same thing was done by Lakshmana. Dekhi sumantra nayan jala chaye. Sumantra, who brought Rama, Lakshmana, etc. in the chariot, King Dasharatha's close minister. His eyes became filled with tears. Because Sumadra was told by King Dasharatha that watch over them, and when they are fed up with the forest, and take advantage of the opportunity, bring them back. Give them some interpretation. 14 years can be spent in 4 days. So Sumantra says at this stage, Hridaya dahu ati vadana malina, kah kar jori bachana ati deena. His heart was filled with pain, misery. Face lost its glow, sad. With folded hands, he said, O Lord, King Dasharatha has given me the order, the instruction that you take Rama, Lakshmana, Sita to forest. Banu dekhai surasari anhavai, anehu feri begi do bhai. Let them see the forest, have bath in the Ganges river, and then bring these two brothers and Sita back. That was what Dasharatha had given instruction to his minister. Lakhan Ram siya anehu feri, sanshaya sakal sankocha niberi. Allow your mind not to have any doubt or anything. Focus on this point. Bring them back, Lakshmana, Rama, and Sita. Nipa asa kaheu gosai, jasa kahai karao balisoi, karibinati payanha pareu, dinha bala jimiroi. Now what will I say to the king? Since Rama has already created matted locks and Lakshmana, and so saying, he fell at the feet of Rama and began to cry like a baby. तात कृपा करी कीजिए सोई, जाते अवधा नाथ न होई. Said, O Lord, please do that which will not render Ayodhya without a Lord like you. Don't make Ayodhya anath without a royal protector. Sri Rama lifted up the minister, Sumantra, with great love and said, O Tat, it's kind of a special way of showing affection. The word Tat is used for younger people as well as older people. Simple way of saying, O beloved one, you are the knower of all dharmas. So the ministers always were very wise to give right counsel to the kings. So Sumantra had already studied all the Vedas and many subtle scriptures. Shividadhi Harichandra Naresha, Gahe Dharma Hit Koti Kalesha. Ranti deva bali bhupa sujana, dharamu dhareuj sahi sankatanana. Rama is saying, you have studied the stories of Shivi, Dadhichi, Harishchandra, the great king Ranti Deva, Bali, how they all pass through lots of trials of sufferings and they remain unshaken on pursuing the path of dharma. Now all these Puranas have given these stories describing as Raghuvansh, Suryavanshi kings. Suryavansh, of course, in a history process, it will give you lots of Google space to inquire. The Suryavansh is Uttarayana path. The soul's movement leading to liberation, described as Agnir Jyoti Aha Shukla Shanamasha Uttarayanam. Agni, Vairagya, fire. Jyoti, Vivek, discriminative knowledge. Aha, living your daily life with that spiritually enriched vision. Integral yoga in daily life. If you are doing this unshaken, you belong to Raghuvansha. You develop, and all these details. Shivi is a great king. Indra and Agni, they put him into a test trial. Indra is symbol of bhoga, enjoyment. Agni, symbol of vairagya, dispassion, with discriminative vision. Both come like birds, and they end up demanding his whole body and life. And Shivi sacrifices. In a storyline, all that. He gives the word to hawk, Indra, that ask anything and I will give you. Pigeon, the dove is under my care. So don't ask for the dove, ask anything. And hawk asks for his own body equal to the weight of that dove. That's the storyline. Now the story goes on. He goes on cutting his limbs and putting on the weighing scales. And ultimately he has to put his whole body to it. Storyline gives you all that. The mystical meaning is, if you are developing vairagya, come to that state of recognizing all your three bodies. You are not. They are to be sacrificed. They are to be negated. Indra wants all this. Indra wants to destroy that knowledge, that dove-like spiritual aspiration. But if you are Suryavanshi, you will not fall for bhoga. You will follow the project where you will begin to understand physical body is not me, mind, intellect, etc. I am not me, causal I am not me. And then look at Indra. That's the subtle meaning behind it. Otherwise, what type of moral are you getting? That when you have given a word to someone who cut your own body. And the Dichis, he gave his very bones for Indra to use as thunderbolt, his Vajra. People take it literally. Bones, the Dichi is one who has nourished himself by dadhi, Upanishadic knowledge. Upanishads are the cows. And if you are well nourished, your bone is the strength of ahimsa, non-violence. If you have that type of strength, you can destroy ignorance. And Harishchandra sacrificed all near and dear ones for the sake of truth. Rantideva was another. Similarly, his sacrifice. For 40 days or more, he had fasted due to certain circumstances. And it was a time for him to have some food. But hardly the food was brought into his plate that there comes a Brahmin and he gives a portion of that. Then comes another type of person. There comes a person with a pet, and he has to give food to that person as well as his pet. This goes on until he has nothing left. Lastly, it was just water. And an outcast comes thirsty, and he has to give away that water also. This is the storyline. The idea is your process of renunciation starts with something, sacrifice that is gross. You go into subtler realm, you begin to sacrifice subtle desires that enter your mind. Then you begin to sacrifice the root cause behind the subtle desires. Your impurities are the chandala, come with dogs. And you have to do something to sublimate them. I'm just giving the broad highlights. All that I'm trying to say is all the stories that you have in the scriptures, don't take them literally. Because what type of message will you give to your children? But let them understand all those stories are figurative, allegorical. The moral behind it is what you need to understand. Same like parables. Parables are given to children. In parables, birds go on speaking. The fox tells the crow, how good you look. And therefore, how beautiful will be your sound. Crow opens the mouth, and little meat in the beak falls. Fox takes it. I says, goodbye. See, you make it this story, crow, fox, they are talking, and so forth. Similarly, lots of stories are given. Real personalities, of course, were there, great personalities. But their reality is not gross. Their reality is understanding, knowledge. The knowledge can't be given to you. When they talk about great saints, they always look for something miraculous happened. He went there and suddenly it was dark, but the moment he entered, it became all light. That's easy to understand. But But what is needed to understand, where people were all in the state of confusion, mental darkness, the presence of a sage suddenly brings understanding, sanamati. It all becomes lighted. So therefore, there is mystical meaning behind Ramayana, behind all the stories of Krishna, and all scriptures. Dharamuna dusara satya samana, agama nigama purana bakana. Greatest dharma is the realization of satya, truth. Satyameva jayate. Truth alone triumphs. And the Vedic prayer, asato ma sadgamaya. Lead me from unreal to real. So now you have to understand what is unreal and what is real. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Lead me from mortality to immortality. Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya. From darkness to light. So that's the basic message behind all scriptures. Sambhavit kahu apajas lahu, maran koti samadarun dahu. For a person who is well cultured, speaking spiritual way, falling from that state of kirti, state of spiritual glory, that infamy is like facing 1,000 deaths. To understand the point, if you turn your attention to what is the purpose of your life, the purpose of your life is to attain liberation. Having developed that type of insight, that liberation is your goal, and you ignore that whole project, then what are you facing? You are facing now the predicament of being born again and again. The Upanishad calls it Atmahano Jana. You become a serial killer. More intriguing than killing others, you are killing yourself. Birth after birth. At that point, Upanishads again and again, scriptures bring out, it's worse than countless hells just to stay on in a world of illusion. तुम सन तात बहुत काकाऊं, दिए उतर फिर पातक लहाऊं. Rama says to Sumantra, what more can I say? Pitupad kahi kahi koti nati, विनय करब कर जोरी, चिंता कवनिहुत बात कह, तात करिए जनि मोरी. On my behalf, hold the feet of King Dasharatha, my father, and offer countless namaskars to the king. With folded hand, convey my message that, O father, beloved father, do not worry about me. तुम पुनि पितु सम अति हित मोरे, बिनती करऊं तात कर जोरे. And talking to Sumantra himself, you are like my father. And with folded hands, I offer my prayer. To do everything possible that my father does not get into the grip of grief. Suni Raghunath Sachiva Sambadu, Bhayav Saparijana Vikala Nishadu. And Nishad, Guha Nishad, the friend of Rama, who was so deeply involved with Rama and so forth. He heard what was going on between Rama and Guha and the minister Sumantra. Nishad heard it, and his heart was filled with sorrow. पुनि कछु लखन कही कटुबानी, प्रभु बरजे बड़ अनुचित जानी. And spicing up the story, also giving a subtle insight. Mystic psychology is, any psychology is not easy, it's a complex process. Jnana comes to understand something. When jnana has directed, this is what I want, will in you says, then why delay? Grab it. But then jnana says, wait, not grab it. Make it spontaneous. Sahaj. So between knowledge, jnana, and will, harmonization have to take place. Both are helping each other. Your will helps your knowledge to gain more. Knowledge helps the will have patience. Both become harmonized, they are Rama, Lakshmana. So every now and then Lakshmana speaks out something, Rama glares at him. And both are profoundly close to each other. सकुचि राम निज सपथ देखा देवाई, लखन संदेशु कहिए जनी जाई. And Rama said to Sumantra, tell my message, but please don't tell what Lakshmana said. And Sumantra relates exactly the same thing. You tell Dasharatha how things were happening, and Lakshmana spurred up something, and Rama asked him to come. Now, Sumantra turns his attention to Sita Devi. All this again is kind of presenting the challenge that every aspirant faces. Your vivek, discrimination has to be put into trial. Sita is Vivek Buddhi, that type of understanding that shows the difference between the real and the unreal, the self and the not self, and becomes the basis for destroying Ravana ignorance. That Sita now must show her strength against Moha. Moha wants Sita to get away. Let Rama stay without fulfilling his purpose. But, in other words, any spiritual process, any enriching movement requires trials and tests. And there lies your proof of your inner sincerity and devotion, and also the miracle of grace. And with this I'm going to conclude. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukam Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Ramayana. Hari Om.